Ethan sat in the small cabin of the research ship Starbound, staring at the blinking console. The soft hum of the ship's engines filled the room. He ran a hand through his short brown hair and let out a long breath. He was a medical technician, not a soldier or an explorer, but somehow he always ended up in situations that were bigger than he expected. "Ethan, come look at this," called Laura from the bridge. She was calm and focused, with short black hair and glasses that slid down her nose whenever she leaned forward. Ethan grabbed his tablet and hurried to the bridge. Jason, the security officer, stood near the viewport, arms crossed. He was tall and broad, with a permanent frown that made people uneasy. Mia, the ship's engineer, was crouched over a panel, tinkering with wires and humming a strange tune. On the screen, a strange signal was flashing. It was weak, broken by static, but unmistakably there. It pulsed in a pattern that looked like Morse code, though twisted and distorted. "This came from Sector 892, Laura said. "Coordinates don't match any known human colony. It's old." Ethan frowned. "Old? How old?" Laura shrugged. "Could be centuries." "It doesn't matter." "Someone or something wants help," Jason snorted. "Or it's a trap. Could be aliens. Could be pirates. Could be worse." Mia looked up, her face pale but curious. "We're here to explore, right? That's why we're in the middle of nowhere. We can't ignore it." The captain, a woman named Harris, spoke from her chair. "We investigate, but carefully. No unnecessary risks. Ethan, you stay ready. If we find anyone alive, I want you to be prepared." Ethan nodded. He felt a strange excitement and fear at the same time. Something about this signal felt different, as if it carried a message meant for them alone. The ship changed course toward the source. Hours passed as they traveled through empty space. Ethan watched the stars, thinking of home. Earth seemed small now, a blue dot in the vast black sea of space. He wondered who had sent the signal and why. When they arrived, the screen showed a massive structure floating in the dark. It was enormous, taller than their ship, shaped like a mix of a temple and a battleship. Parts of it were broken, melted by some unknown force. It looked ancient and silent, yet somehow alive. Jason's hand hovered near his weapon. "I don't like this. Something's wrong here." Laura nodded slowly. "We don't know what's inside. But if someone is signaling for help, we have to try." Ethan swallowed hard. "Let's hope they want help, not to hurt us." The ship approached the alien structure, and suddenly, a faint pull grabbed them. The ship shuddered. Alarms rang. "Gravity field!" Mia shouted. "We're caught in it!" Captain Harris barked orders. "Engage emergency thrusters. Try to stabilize." The ship fought the pull, but the alien structure's gravity was strong. Despite their efforts, they slammed into a docking bay, and alarms screamed. Sparks flew from the control panel. Ethan gripped a railing as the floor tilted violently. "We're not going to make it." The ship crashed, metal screeching against metal. The impact shook the walls. Ethan hit the floor hard. Pain shot through his shoulder, but he quickly shook it off. "Everyone okay?" the captain called. Mia groaned but got to her feet. Jason checked his sidearm and frowned. "Ship's damaged. Docking bay looks old, but stable. We can move inside." Ethan nodded, feeling his chest tighten with nervous energy. He always wanted to help people. But this was something beyond any medical emergency he had faced. They put on their suits and left the ship. The docking bay was enormous, dark, and cold. Strange symbols glowed faintly on the walls. Ethan's heart pounded as he stepped carefully on the floor. "What is this place?" Mia whispered, looking around. "I don't know," Laura replied. "But it's old. Very old. And these symbols, they're not human." The corridor was long. Lights pulsed faintly under the walls, like soft breathing. Ethan felt uneasy. "It's almost alive," he said. Jason didn't answer. He just scanned the area with his weapon, moving ahead of the group. Finally, they reached a large chamber. Ethan froze. In the center was a cocoon-like structure, attached to cables and crystal rods. It hummed softly. The cocoon opened slowly, and a tall figure stepped out. Ethan's breath caught. The being was unlike anything he had seen. She was graceful, tall, covered in a hard, shiny exoskeleton. Parts of her body were cracked, and dim light glowed from the fractures. Jason raised his weapon immediately. "Stop right there." But the alien did not move aggressively. She lifted a hand, not to attack, but in greeting. Ethan felt something strange. She was wounded, and the pain seemed to radiate outward, like a wave. Ethan stepped forward. "Wait! Don't shoot. She's hurt." Jason frowned but lowered his weapon slightly. Laura and Mia watched silently. The alien queen's eyes, large and reflective, focused on Ethan. She spoke, and the words were strange, distorted. But a device on the wall translated them. "I am Lysera," she said. "Last of my people. I need help." Ethan felt a pull in his chest. This was not a hostile creature. She was injured and alone. He slowly moved forward, holding out his hands. Jason grumbled. "Be careful. This could be a trick." Ethan ignored him. He knelt beside her and touched her cracked arm gently. The glow from her wound shifted, becoming brighter. A small shiver ran through him. Lysera let out a soft sound, almost like a sigh. Her massive body leaned toward him slightly. "Soft. Healer," she whispered. Ethan's hand hovered over the injury. He was scared, but he also knew he could not step back. I'll try to help," he said softly. She nodded. Her voice was faint but urgent. Do it." Ethan pressed his fingers lightly to the crack. The glow under her exoskeleton pulsed in response. He could feel warmth spreading through her body, like energy flowing into the fracture. Jason tensed. "Ethan, stop. We don't know what that is." Ethan shook his head. "No. I think it's working. She's responding." "Son." The alien queen's eyes widened. Her breathing, if it could be called that, grew calmer. The glow in the wound softened, becoming steady. Laura stepped closer, awe in her voice. "Ethan, what are you doing?" I'm just touching her," he said. "It's weird. Her body reacts to me. It's like I can help her heal." Lysera's voice grew weaker but clearer. "You understand the pain?" Ethan nodded. "I feel it. Don't worry. I'll keep helping." The room was silent, except for the soft hum of the alien structure. Ethan could hear his own heartbeat, fast and steady, as he kept his hand on her arm. After a few moments, Lysera shifted her gaze directly to him. "Do it." "Once more," she whispered. Ethan froze. He looked at the crack. He looked at her eyes. There was trust there, and something else, a plea. Not just for healing, but for connection. He took a deep breath and pressed his hand lightly again. The glow brightened, filling the room with soft, warm light. For a moment, Ethan felt as if he and Lysera were connected in some strange way, her memories brushing against his mind. Stars, fleets of ships, worlds full of life, and a great darkness consuming everything flashed briefly in his mind. He pulled back suddenly, his heart racing. I felt something. "Her memories?" he whispered. Lysera's eyes reflected understanding and surprise. "Yes, you see, the past," she said softly. Jason stared at him. "I told you this was dangerous." Ethan shook his head, still staring at her. "No, Jason. This is important. She's not here to hurt us. She needs help. And I think we can give it to her." The alien queen remained kneeling, her tall body glowing faintly. Ethan felt a mix of fear and awe. He had never seen anything like this. Never imagined that a human touch could matter to a creature like her. Lysera whispered again. Do it. Once more, soft healer. Ethan took a deep breath. He knew this was only the beginning. Whatever lay ahead, he was ready to help her. He pressed his hand lightly against her arm, feeling warmth, light, and something more. An unspoken bond between a human and an alien queen. In that moment, Ethan realized that everything had changed. Their encounter was not random. It was the start of something much larger. Something that would test him, challenge his courage, and change the way he saw humanity's place in the stars. And as he touched her gently, the alien queen's wound slowly began to heal, and a faint hope flickered in the darkness of the abandoned structure. The adventure had begun. The alien queen Lysera had finally begun to recover, though she still leaned heavily on Ethan for support. The glow in her exoskeleton had dimmed to a steady light, and she no longer trembled with pain. Ethan stepped back and wiped his palms on his uniform, feeling both awe and nervous energy. Laura watched him closely. Ethan, that was incredible. I've never seen anything like it. You actually helped her heal. Thanks for watching. End quote. Ethan shook his head. I don't know how I did it. It's like... She responds to my touch. Her body reacts. True it. Jason frowned. I still think it's dangerous. We don't know what this is, or what she could do if she wanted. Lysera spoke, her voice soft but firm. Healer. Trust is not weakness. It is strength. You see me as I am. Ethan's heart beat faster. There was something in her words that made him feel both fear and a strange calm. He had never been face to face with an alien like this, one so tall and powerful, and yet so vulnerable. Ethan, can you examine her more? Laura asked. If we understand her biology, maybe we can help more. Ethan nodded and guided Lysera toward the medical bay. She moved gracefully, though slowly, her limbs still weak. Jason followed at a distance, his weapon ready, and Mia stayed close, carrying a portable diagnostic scanner she had modified from the ship's equipment. The medical bay was small but functional. Lights were bright and sterile, and the soft hum of the ship made the room feel safer than the alien structure outside. Ethan gestured to Lysera. You can sit here if you like. I just need to check your vitals. She lowered herself gently onto a raised platform. Her glowing exoskeleton reflected the light, and tiny cracks that remained flickered faintly. Ethan pulled out the scanner and started examining her. Her blood, if it could be called that, was not red. It glowed with shifting colors, moving like liquid light through her veins. Her organs were unlike anything Ethan had seen, crystal-like and flexible at the same time. Laura leaned closer, whispering, Ethan, look at these readings. Nothing matches any known human or alien biology we've studied. Ethan nodded, fascinated. Normal medicine won't work. Her body reacts to me, only when I touch her. The scanner can't stabilize her fully. Jason shook his head. This is insane. What if she's tricking you, using you to heal herself for her own purposes? Lysera's eyes turned toward Jason, and her voice was firm. Healer is not tool. He is choice. I cannot take without his will. Ethan felt a strange connection to her words. He understood that she did not want to harm anyone, and she could not fully heal herself. Somehow, he had become part of her recovery. He removed his gloves and placed his hands gently on a crack in her arm. The glow brightened immediately. Lysera's breathing slowed, and a faint hum of energy flowed through the room. Ethan felt a warm vibration running up his arms, almost like her energy was merging with his. Laura's eyes widened. Ethan, it's like you're bonding with her. Her healing responds to your touch. Ethan swallowed hard. I think so. But why me? I'm just human. Lysera tilted her head, studying him. You see life. You value it. That is rare. Mia, who had been quietly observing, whispered, "She's telling the truth. Her body isn't just healing. It's connecting to your mind." Ethan felt a shiver run through him. The idea was both amazing and frightening. He had never experienced anything like this, not even in his medical training. "Do it again," Lysera whispered softly, her glowing eyes fixed on him. Ethan hesitated. The first time had been strange enough, with flashes of her memories brushing against his mind. But he felt a deep sense of responsibility. Slowly, he touched the wound again. This time, he saw more. Brief images flashed in his mind. Massive fleets of ships made of shining crystal. Worlds burning under attack. Alien creatures moving like living machines. He saw the collapse of cities, the screams of unknown beings, and the desperate faces of her people. He pulled his hand back, shaking. I saw something. Your memories." Lysera nodded. "Yes. Only glimpse. You understand pain, loss, fear. You feel it." Ethan sat down beside her. "It's a lot. I didn't expect this." She reached out and placed a glowing hand over his. "Soft healer. This is past. Only glimpse. Only trust." Jason crossed his arms. "Ethan, this is too dangerous. You're sharing your mind with her. That's not safe." Ethan looked at him. "I know. But I also see that she's not here to hurt us. She needs help. If I can help her, maybe we can learn more about her and the universe." Lysera's glow brightened again, and she spoke softly. "You, our choice. You, see truth. You, heal." Over the next hours, Ethan continued examining her. Every time he touched a wound, her body reacted, glowing brighter, cracks slowly sealing. Each time, he felt brief flashes of her memories, wars, starships, peaceful cities, and the terrible darkness that had destroyed her empire. Laura carefully recorded the readings. "Ethan, this is beyond anything science has seen. You're interacting with living energy, not just flesh. It's almost impossible to describe." Ethan nodded. "It's like she can feel me, and I can feel her. But it's not just pain. It's hope, fear, everything." Mia leaned closer. "And don't forget, she called you a soft healer. That's kind of amazing, Ethan. You're literally touching history," Jason groaned. "I still don't like it. We're risking everything by letting him do that. One wrong move, and we're in trouble." Lysera's voice cut through the tension. "Jason, you do not see. Healer, choice. No harm, only care." Ethan felt his heart swell with both fear and pride. He had always wanted to help people, and now he was helping someone who had ruled an entire star empire. As night passed, the human crew learned more about Lysera's past. She told them, in broken but understandable words, about the devouring force that had destroyed her people, called the Void Swarm. It consumed entire worlds, leaving nothing alive behind. Ethan listened in silence. "And you survived. Why?" he asked softly. Lysera's eyes dimmed. "Stasis, shield, alone, wounded, waited. Only hope, only healer." Ethan's hand found hers again. "We'll help you, I promise. But we need to understand more about this swarm." Lysera nodded, her body glowing faintly. "Yes. They return. Soon." Jason stiffened. "What do you mean, return?" "They follow everywhere," Lysera said, her voice steady but filled with sorrow. "I stopped. Some. Others remain." The crew realized the danger. The swarm was not just history. It was still out there. And now, somehow, humans were in its path. Over the next few days, Ethan and Lysera grew closer. Every touch of his hand healed her a little more, and each time, he glimpsed parts of her past. He saw her ruling great fleets, giving orders with precision, and making terrible choices to save as many as she could. He also saw the human parts of his own memories reflected in her mind, the crowded cities, the laughter of friends, the blue skies of Earth. Somehow, she could see the value of human life, just as he could see the tragedy of her empire. Their bond became more than just healer and patient. It was trust, respect, and understanding. Ethan began to see the universe in a new way, realizing that humans were small but capable of courage and compassion, even in the vast darkness of space. One day, while examining a deeper wound near her chest, Ethan saw something alarming. Flashes of a memory showed Lysera giving orders to destroy entire star systems to slow the void swarm. He pulled back, horrified. "Did you kill them?" he asked softly. Lysera's eyes met his. "Choice. Only way. Save remainder. I regret." Ethan's heart sank. "But billions," she nodded. "Yes. Hard. Choice. Hard. Leadership. You. See now? Humans. You. Same sometimes." He realized she was right. Humans had also made terrible choices in the past, though smaller in scale. He sighed. "I suppose leadership is never easy." Lysera's glow softened. "And healing requires trust. You, healer, give trust." Ethan touched her hand gently again. "Then we keep going. Together." At that moment, the station's sensors detected movement outside. Small objects were approaching from the darkness of space. Their patterns matched what Ethan had seen in Lysera's visions: swarm scouts, searching and dangerous. Lysera stood tall, her glow brightening. "They come. You must prepare." Jason tightened his grip on his weapon. "I told you. This was too dangerous." Ethan stepped forward. "No, we can't run. We need to understand them. And we need to protect each other." "We?" Laura nodded. "We'll prepare. Let's make sure the station is ready." Lysera turned to Ethan and whispered softly. "Soft healer. This. Beginning. You. Choice. You. Help now." Ethan swallowed hard, feeling both fear and determination. He nodded. "I'll help. Whatever comes, we face it together." And as the lights of the alien station flickered and the distant shapes of the swarm scouts grew closer, Ethan realized that his life, and perhaps the future of many worlds, had changed forever. The adventure had only just begun. The ship's sensors continued to hum as the small swarm scouts moved closer to the alien station. Ethan stood near Lysera, his hand brushing against hers, not as a healer this time, but as a companion. The bond between them had grown stronger, and every touch seemed to do more than heal. It connected them, mind and body. Jason was restless, pacing near the viewport. "We should leave. This place is a trap. That swarm isn't waiting for us." Politely, Laura shook her head. "If we leave now, they'll track us." And Lysera said, "That's exactly what they would do. We have to fight here, or the swarm could reach human space." Ethan nodded, his eyes on the glowing cracks in Lysera's exoskeleton. "She's healing, but she's not fully strong yet. If we can help her fully recover, maybe she can protect herself. And us." Mia fiddled with the ship's portable scanners. "I can reinforce the station's weak points with the tech we have. It's crude, but it should help slow them down." Lysera studied Ethan. Her glowing eyes reflected both concern and trust. "Soft healer. Together. Protect. Must. Trust." Ethan took a deep breath. I trust you. We'll do this together. Over the next hours, Ethan worked carefully, touching Lysera's injuries one by one. Each time he touched her, the glow from her exoskeleton intensified, cracks sealing themselves. But the deeper wounds were harder. Some were connected to ancient parts of her body, linked to memories and power she had not used in centuries. When his hands touched her chest near the core of her energy, flashes of her memories burst into his mind. He saw fleets of her people moving through space, massive battles, and the terrible force that had destroyed entire worlds. The Void Swarm was not just a story, he could feel its hunger, its destruction. Ethan pulled his hands back, trembling. It's too much. I can't hold all of it. Lysera's voice was soft but steady. You hold enough. Only glimpse. Trust. Only glimpse. He nodded, swallowing hard. I'll try again. This time, he focused on small parts, just the immediate wounds. Her breathing steadied, her glow became more even. She looked at him with what he thought was gratitude. Or maybe something deeper. Jason crossed his arms, watching them. This is insane. You're letting her drain you. How do we even know you'll survive? Ethan looked up at him. I have to. She's the only one who knows the full power of this station. If we're going to survive, I need to help her. Laura stepped closer. He's right. We've learned more from this than we could have in months of scanning and studying. If he can help her recover, we might have a chance. Mia nodded. And honestly, I've never seen anything like it. The way she reacts to him, it's like they're part of the same system. As the day passed, Ethan and Lysera discovered something incredible. Her body had begun to adapt to human presence. When Ethan touched her, she healed faster. But not only that, she started to communicate with him in small ways that went beyond words. Subtle shifts in her glow, soft pulses, even tiny vibrations in her exoskeleton all seemed to send messages he could understand. Ethan realized that their connection was growing deeper than he could have imagined. He could feel her thoughts in flashes, her memories brushing against his mind. And she could sense his emotions as well. You understand humans, she said softly, glowing brighter with each word. Ethan smiled faintly. I try. I see people like they are. Not just the mistakes they make. Lysera's glow softened, almost like a smile. Same. See life, care, rare, special. Jason shook his head, muttering, this is all too much. I can't believe I'm standing here while he's whatever that is. But Ethan didn't notice. His focus was on Lysera, and on understanding her. He wanted to help her, but he also wanted to learn. Her past, her people, the Void Swarm, they were pieces of a puzzle that humans had never seen before. One evening, while Ethan was touching a wound near her arm, he felt a new kind of reaction. The glow expanded, and suddenly he was seeing something more than just her memories. He saw potential futures paths where humans and Lysera's people could fight together, protect the galaxy, and stand against the Void Swarm. He pulled back, astonished. These are possible futures. You're showing me what could happen if we survive. Lysera nodded. Yes. Soft healer. Choice. Together. Protect. Survive. Jason, watching silently, frowned. This is getting stranger by the minute. I still don't trust it. Laura put a hand on his shoulder. Maybe it's not about trust. Maybe it's about understanding. He's learning from her, and she's learning from him. That's how we survive. Mia leaned over the scanner. And it's not just him. Look at the station. Parts are coming back to life. Systems we couldn't access before are starting to respond to her energy. Something about their bond is activating them. Ethan realized she was right. As he and Lysera worked together, the station itself seemed to awaken. Lights flickered on in distant corridors. Doors opened slowly, revealing hidden chambers filled with alien devices. Crystals glowed along the walls, pulsing in rhythm with Lysera's energy. Lysera placed a hand on his shoulder. Soft healer. See. Station alive. Needs. Guide. Help. Ethan nodded. We'll figure it out. Together. Over the next few days, the crew explored the station carefully. Ethan and Lysera moved together, her glowing form guiding him through corridors he would never have understood alone. Jason led a security team, cautious and tense, while Laura studied alien consoles and Mia tried to adapt human tech to interface with the alien systems. The station was huge, far larger than they could have imagined. Some areas were damaged beyond repair. Others were pristine, powered by technology that seemed alive. Ethan felt a mix of fear and wonder. This was a world from a civilization that humans had never dreamed of. In one chamber, Ethan touched a crystal that pulsed faintly. Lysera leaned close. Do not fear. Alive. Respond. Need. Ethan nodded and pressed his hand lightly. The crystal glowed brighter, and a map appeared in his mind, star systems, fleet movements, and signs of the void swarm. He gasped. She's showing me their path. They're still out there. Moving. Waiting. Lysera's glow dimmed slightly. Yes. Danger. Return. Must. Prepare. Jason frowned. Great. Now we know the swarm is coming. Any ideas how to stop them? Ethan shook his head. Not yet, but we have Lysera. If we can help her fully recover, she might hold the station's defenses, and maybe we can fight back. Laura studied the maps appearing in Ethan's mind. If the station is still functional, even partially, we could use its weapons. But it won't be easy. This technology is beyond us. Mia smiled faintly. Not beyond us? Maybe. Just beyond normal humans. But with her? And Ethan? We might have a chance. Over the next day, Ethan spent long hours helping Lysera heal deeper wounds. Every touch connected them further. He felt her memories, her fears, and her hopes. In return, she sensed his courage, his compassion, and his determination. At one point, Ethan saw a memory that made him pause. Lysera had given orders to destroy entire star systems to slow the void swarm. He pulled back sharply. Did you? He asked softly, fear in his voice. Lysera looked at him, calm but serious. Yes, choice, save remainder, regret, must. Ethan swallowed hard. I understand, but it's still so many lives. Lysera's glow softened. Hard. Choice. Leadership. Same. Humans. You. Understand. Ethan realized she was right. Humans had also made terrible choices when survival was at stake. And yet, he saw the possibility of hope, of learning, and of choosing differently. That night, Ethan and Lysera sat quietly in a chamber filled with soft, glowing crystals. The stars outside shone faintly through a broken window of the station. You, healer, change me, Lysera whispered. See, value, life. Not only. Ethan smiled faintly. And you've changed me. I see more, understand more. Not just the universe, but people, choices, hope. Lysera's glow brightened slightly, almost like a smile. Together, survive, protect, must. Jason shook his head, muttering. I still can't believe I'm standing here while all this is happening. I just hope we survive. But Ethan was not afraid. He had learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the choice to act despite it. And now, with Lysera, the bond they shared, and the crew working together, he felt that they might stand a chance even against the darkness that was coming. Suddenly, the station's sensors picked up a new wave of movement. This time, it was larger, more organized. The Void Swarm scouts were not alone, they were signaling a greater force, a dark shadow moving across the stars. Lysera's glow flared bright. Return. They. Coming. Prepare. Must fight. Ethan placed his hand lightly on her arm. Then we fight. Together, Laura nodded. We'll do everything we can to hold them off. Mia grinned faintly. And maybe make a few surprises of our own. Jason sighed but tightened his grip on his weapon. Let's hope your alien queen and your soft healer plan works. Ethan looked at Lysera. Her tall, glowing form standing proud but wounded. And he felt a surge of determination. They had come this far. They had learned from each other. And together, they would face whatever came next. For the first time, Ethan understood something he had never truly felt before. Humans, small and fragile as they might be, could change the universe not by force, but by courage, compassion, and the choices they made. And with Lysera by his side, he knew they were ready for the battles to come. The adventure was far from over.